Have you ever pondered how we came from this to this? So as to perceive what happened, we'll revert how it started. Before the Spaniards arrived in the country, early Filipinos has its own society, culture, and technology. Around 48,000 BC, it showed that modern men from Asian mainland first came overland on across narrow channels to live in Batangas and Palawan. They created simple tools and weapons from stone flakes and later developed new skills like sewing and polishing stones. During 3000 BC, they learned to produce adze ornaments of seashells and pottery that prospered for 2,000 years until competition arrived with the Chinese porcelain. Also, they built Karakoa. It was a refined plank-built warship that was suited for inter-island trade. Later years, they've learned how to use metals as their tools, and it was called Iron Age. It lasted until the 3rd century BC to the 11th century AD. During this time, Filipinos were involved in ore mining such as copper, gold, bronze, and iron. Our ancestors have also engaged themselves into whaling, shipbuilding, mining, and farming that lead them in creating the finest product of engineering, which is the famous Banaue rice terraces. Because of the trading, early Filipinos built relationships with other countries. During this period, they have learned the curative values of plants and able to extract the medicine out of it. They had also an alphabet, the alibata, counting methods, weight, and measurement systems, and the calendar that they based on the period of the moon. This proves that Filipinos were already aware of activities and practices related to science and technology. Philippines was colonized by the Spaniards for over 300 years. During that time, they had contributed the growth of science and technology in the country. Formal education was established, where they built parish schools and taught religion, reading, writing, arithmetic, and music. They also founded scientific institutions. They also established colleges and universities around the country, including the oldest university in Asia, which is the University of Santo Tomas. During the colonization, medicine was prioritized. The study of life was highlighted during this period. Botanists, chemists, and medical scholars all gave contribution to the field of science. Spaniards made contributions in the field of engineering by constructing government establishments, churches, roads, bridges, and forts. When the galleon trade made a big impact in the economic growth of the Philippines, Spaniards gave priority to them due to its potential to make huge profits. Suez Canal was built. Visiting each other countries for Europeans and Filipinos was made possible. During this era, the progress of science and technology has continued. In July 1, 1901, the Philippine Commission established the Bureau of Government Laboratories, which served a purpose to study the tropical disease and laboratory projects in the country. In 1905, it was replaced by the Bureau of Science that became the primary research center of the country. On December 8, 1933, the National Research Council of the Philippines was established. It was this time that science was inclined towards agriculture, food processing, forestry, medicine, and pharmacy. In 1946, the Bureau of Science was replaced by the Institute of Science. Philippines lacked basic information no support, minimal budget, and low compensation, according to the reports made by the U.S. Economic Survey. In 1958, Carlos P. Garcia passed the bill entitled the Science Act of 1958, which goals is to establish the National Science Development Board. It was only during the Marcos presidency where science was given importance. In 1973, it was clearly stated by the former president in the Philippine Constitution that in terms of national development, priority shall be given in the advancement of science and technology. He also declared that there is a need for science in public high school, and with the help of Department of Education in partnership from the National Science Development Board, it aims to provide science teaching equipment for a period of 4 years. In 1968, he also recognized that technology was the top reason in economic development and gave extra funds to support projects in applied science and science education. While in 1969, he allotted large amount of war-damaged funds to private universities to encourage them to courses that focus on science and technology and research. While in 1970, he emphasized that by upgrading the science curriculum and teaching equipment is crucial to the science development program. He also declared Presidential Decree Number 49, Series of 1972, as a support for promoting the scientific research and invention. During his time, PAG-ASA was established, which function is to give environmental protection and to utilize scientific knowledge to ensure the safety of the nation. In 1976, he established the National Academy of Science and Technology to have a scientist who's experts in science and technology. In 1986, he also established campuses of Philippine Science High School in the Visayas and Mindanao. It encouraged the youth in this area to choose a career in science and technology. It also aims to tap the potential students in the said region. During the term of President Corazon Aquino, she replaced the National Science and Technology Authority to Department of Science and Technology in 1986. It was during the Philippine Development Plan for the years 1987 to 1992 where the role of science and technology in the nature economy was highlighted. During her SONA, Corazon Aquino said that science and technology development should be on the top 3 priorities of the government to implement the development plan they have made. In 1989, the budget allocation for science and technology was increased amounting to 1.54 billion pesos. However, it was cut down by 14% and in 1992, it was increased again by 50%. In the year 2000, it was one of her goals to make the country industrialized. In July 1992, President Fidel V. Ramos reported his State of the Nation address that there were improvements with regard to science and technology. In his third SONA in 1994, he reported that there was a significant increase in people who specialize in the field of science and technology. In the year 1998, it was estimated that the Philippines had 3,000 competent scientists and engineers. During the Fifth Republic, where the government provided 3,500 scholarships for students who are interested in taking up courses related to science and technology, schools became modernized and updated by having additional high-tech equipment. It was also during this time when science and technology personnel were given priority. It was called Magna Carta for Science and Technology Personnel, or Republic Act No. 8439 in 1997. Its purpose is to give incentives and rewards to people who made an impact and influential in the field of science and technology. During President Joseph Estrada's term, the Internet age was pushed for the advancement of schools and industries. Then it was under the term of Gloria Macapagal Arroyo when science and technology reached its golden age. RA 9367, or the Biofuels Act, that promotes the development and usage of biofuels throughout the country, were made to push technology forward to increase the economic level of the country. In 2014, President Benigno Aquino honors 4 scientists whose huge contributions in the scientific field that geared towards the advancement of science and technology of the country. Despite of the accomplishment of science and technology in the country, surely in the near future we will seek advancement and development to benefit the economic level of the Philippines.